would you agree that we cannot give what we don't have already?
Yeah, no, I'm very much of the opinion, and I think because it becomes sacrifice, right? I think if you're trying to give without feeling good yourself, I think it tends to have a negative energy of sacrifice attached to it, right? You're not doing it with pure intent. You're doing it for fear of God or for fear of something, right? That has an energy attached to it that's not helpful. So I think the intent is super important, that only when you are feeling strong yourself do you have really the strength to help others unconditionally. Otherwise, you're always attaching conditions to it, right?
True.
I will love you if you love me, Dario, but otherwise I'm gone, sorry. And that doesn't help, right? That doesn't help.
Yeah, I think we live in a society like it got more transactional. And I think that's why we are also losing a lot of the personal connections. And just coming back to the point that you were saying about sacrifice, I don't think you are doing it in that way. Actually, the contrary. I think you are being of service. I have seen also part of your work, which is EQ Joy, which is helping children as well as adults. But I just wanted to ask you, how are you currently, and why EQ Joy, right? Like, how did you start with helping children as a way of bring joy to the small or to the younger generations?
Wow, well, that's amazing. So really the transition from joy to EQ Joy happened because of two little words that I had as my guiding principles when I came out of the darkness, which were to be open and have faith. Right? Those were the two words that I just kept repeating to myself. Whatever happens, have faith that the path is right and be open to whatever comes to you. And the impetus from EQ Joy basically came at like 3 o'clock in the morning through a sort of a negative emotional experience I'd had with my daughter the day before, where neither of us had acted with much emotional intelligence in that moment. And rather than deal with it, I let it sort of simmer. And then the 3 o'clock in the morning moment was, hey, you need to solve this problem, and this game called EQ Joy can help you do that. And so 5 o'clock came, I was up, pair of scissors, paper, pen, and actually made the game there and then at 5 o'clock in the morning. Come 7 o'clock, breakfast, still a little bit grumpy. After breakfast, we get the game out, we play the game, diffuses the situation. And then I said, okay, well, now we're friends again, we can go swimming. And we just about to get in the car, and she says, oh, but can we take that game with us? I want to play it in the car. And I thought, well, if the kid actually enjoys doing it, then that's good. So that sort of started a whole process to work on the research, to develop the game, to make it, more scientifically foundational than just the divine inspiration, which was the spark. So again, it's seeing that divine inspiration and then acting upon it. I think the acting is the most important. Again, somebody wise said to me that about manifestation, right? The key to manifestation really is to have one step with the intention, right? One step with the visualization, and 98 steps with the action.
Sure. I can totally agree with that. Yeah.
If you're not going to act on it. So I can imagine that same idea, maybe, 100,000 people in the world got that night. Right? Did anybody else act on it? Maybe not.
That's very curious. That's a weird situation. I personally have asked this to many people, and every time we all agree. For example, in your case, you have this manifestation, that this spiritual spark of illumination. I don't know how to call it. And it's like, okay, you took decisive action. Amazing. You made something out of nothing. You just create an amazing game. But I think we all have or share some amazing thoughts like this, these sparks, this divine purpose or something like this, that a destiny, if you want to call it, that we are given, right? Like as a gift. But we just think like, that's not important. But it's just weird that so many people have it at the same time in different places. It seems like somebody or something wants it to be done, and it's just picking people, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think so. I think there's two things happening there. There is, as you say, everybody I think has gifts, right? A lot of people, again, when you ask the question, what are you good at?
Mm-hmm.
I remember being asked that question a few years ago and saying, well, nothing really. And then you really have to sit back and start thinking, and you ask other people and you say, oh, okay, yeah. And then you end up with a list of saying, okay, I'm actually quite good at these things. So that's one thing, that you recognize what are you good at. So therefore, when these opportunities come, you know whether to act on them or not, right? Is this actually something you could do? So, I could get an inspiration to go and build a school in, I don't know, Nicaragua. Probably not a good idea with these hands, right? I'd probably end up in hospital trying to do that. For somebody else, that would be a perfect way for them to achieve that mission through their skills, right? But I'm with you 100% that there are these things that are opportunities to serve that are given to many, many people, right? But who listens